Hi, this is Greg from Pensacola, Florida. I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to take a look at a Kickstarter that's just about to wrap up. This is the 5th Kickstarter from Printable Scenery, and this one is called The Lost Islands, 3D printable terrain for RPG and Wargames. Matt reached out to me a few weeks ago and sent me 3 or 4 files, asked if I'd like to go ahead and test print them and show them off on the channel, and I said sure, I'd love to. I was hoping to get this video out last week, but I had to do some traveling. I was going to see family, and that kind of pushed my shooting schedule off a little bit. But still, I want to show the models off here really quick, the ones that he sent me. And just, if you've never seen Printable Scenery stuff before, you are really missing out. But by the looks of the Kickstarter, with over 982 backers, and we're closing in on $100,000 pledged US, that's pretty good. We've got a huge community that really supports Printable Scenery, and every Kickstarter gets better. I mean, Matt and his team are just knocking it out of the park nowadays. And so, like I said, this Kickstarter's got 3 days to go. So, I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a short run on here, but I want to talk about Printable Scenery because I've been with them for all 5 Kickstarters. So, the first thing I'm going to do is just talk about the stuff that's in front of us on the table right here. All right, the first thing down in front of us here, this is the Orc Bone House. This is a 2-piece print. Everything here printed without supports. And this is a fantastic piece. Every time you look at it, there's more and more detail that you look on there. So you've got some old decayed bones that have been strapped up into a house. I'm going to pull the lid off here and take a look in. I don't know if you can see in there. You'll see little bones on the floor and little rock pebbles and stuff like that. So, I mean, this is a really nice piece. I mean, this is one of those versatile pieces that if you're running a fantasy campaign, skirmish level, RPG, you know, even you could probably even stick that into, you know, a sci-fi outworld or something like that, a low-tech world. You know, great looking piece on there. I was really surprised when that came off. When I came home and this was sitting on the printer done, I was like, wow, that is one fantastic looking piece. The next thing is the Orc Tower. And I'm going to rotate this a little bit this way. Oh, it does fit in the screen. Nice. This is a 3-piece print plus a ladder. So technically it's 4 pieces, but there's a ladder on it also. And, I mean, just the models have gotten so good. I mean, it is absolutely crazy. And I'm going to post a picture up here. Lester Brosley, I think is his name. This guy's like a Golden Demon painter. I've watched him for years. Did a video, and Matt put it on the Kickstarter page of this being painted. And it looks incredible. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, the work that's done. And I don't know who does Matt's normal painting for his pieces that he puts up, but they hats off. They do a fantastic job. And this is for somebody here that wishes he had a chance to paint all his terrain and stuff like that. But this is a 3-piece, you know, so each piece, you know, we'll print, you know, just like this on the bed. Like I say, here's the ladder that just sticks down, and I'll just throw that off to the side. This is the second floor. And then finally, the base at the bottom. You take, I mean, if you've never done a Printable Scenery Kickstarter and this is your first one, get excited, because when you see this stuff roll off your printer and go onto your game table, and if your friends have never been around a 3D printed table that has tons of terrain on it, you know, they're going to be in for a treat. The next thing is from the Port Winterdale section of the Kickstarter, and this is the warehouse. So it's right here. I'm going to pull the little front. This is a 4-piece print. So it's the first level, second level roof, and then the little small roof that's in the front covering the balcony. I haven't glued that on. I'm going to pull that off in just a second. Now, all these files here were sent a few weeks ago, so there may be some little changes that are done. When he sent me the warehouse, he said print at 80%. So I'm not sure if this one is still going some revisions or not, but man, this is nice. Let me get rid of this off the front so you can just get a better look at this piece right here. This will fit in so many different campaigns, so many different 28 mil campaigns. Let me pull the roof off. You know, so you got a nice section up top. You've got the wood grain floors and things like that. You got the balcony up front, and then here's the bottom right down here. So, like I said, I printed this at 80% because that's what it said in his email, but the final size may be different. I know one of the older Kickstarters, there was a blacksmith shop that had a couple different versions of size, but you know, you're just here to get a look at what you're going to get. And so this is great. So this is 3 of the models out of the pledge on there. None of these are stretch goals. So these are all base pledge models. And then I need to look really quick on my tablet so I get the name right. But these barriers down here, they come out of the free, they are Tusk fences. So let me pick one of these up so you can get a good look at what they look like. So these are nice. Oh my God, these are great too. So if it sounds like I'm kind of a printable scenery fanboy, I am. Been with them through all 5 Kickstarters. My terrain buckets are full of this stuff. At the end of the video, I grabbed like 45 pictures out of my Google Photos account. I'm just going to throw them at the end just so you can see that if this is your first Kickstarter and you haven't done printable scenery before, you know, you're seeing what you're going to get from the current Kickstarter, but I'll have a few pictures up from the old ones, all the way back from Winterdale, you know, and stuff like that. And so as part of the Kickstarter, he already has, there's 22 stretch goals unlocked. Like I said, we're rolling in at a $100,000 mark. There are very few Kickstarters in terrain that get over $100,000, and I think I can only think of one other company that breaks $100,000 when they do their 3D printable terrain. You know, so hats off to Matt. I mean, this was one of the main reasons I bought my 3D printer, for Dragonlock and Printable Scenery. Those 2 companies were both running Kickstarters over 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago now, and you know, I saw those Kickstarters out there, and I just said I have to have that stuff, you know. And a lot of why this channel is where it is today is because of those early Kickstarters. You know, that Winterdale Kickstarter was perfect. I was such a fantasy guy, and I still am a huge fantasy guy. You know, so that terrain is tremendous, and there's still tons of files from the original Kickstarter that I haven't printed. And that leads me to one of the best updates ever, that if Matt was around, I would probably hug him. When there are 10 Kickstarters running at a time and you subscribe to a lot of them on there, you end up with tons of files, and you end up with tons of files that all of a sudden start getting versions on them. And so one of the big things, you know, I used to go to the site, re-add the new versions, re-download them, update my folder on the computer. Well, I'm glad to say now that on the Printable Scenery site, when you log in, and if you make sure you create the account with the same Kickstarter email, that when you log in now, any pledges that you have had, they just show a download button. So instead of an add to cart or, you know, rebuy it for $0 or something like that, you can just hit the download button. So you don't have to keep 500 files on your computer wondering, do I have the latest version? You want to print the War Tower from the Winterdale, and you are part of the Winterdale campaign, boom, just go to the Winterdale section, hit the tower, and the nice download button will be right there. And then you have the most current version, and you can throw it on your printer and get it printed. Great job. I mean, that's really, you know, like I said, when you've got 10 plus active Kickstarters running at a time now, all centered around, you know, tabletop gaming and things like that, it's nice to be able to organize your stuff. So huge hats off for him doing that. I love the new system of being able to go in. So down in the show notes, I'm going to have links to the Kickstarter. I'm also going to have a link to the Printable Scenery page. You know, so if you haven't been there before, take a look around. I believe if you go to the Others tab, it'll list the Kickstarter. So you'll have Winterdale and Rampage and all the other Kickstarters on there. So if you don't have those and you do want those, you can go look at what you want, at what's included in those, and then you can add those pledges to the current Kickstarter. So you don't have to buy the individual files from the site. While this Kickstarter is running for the next few days, you can add Winterdale or add, any of the other pledge levels to your campaign. And it's all on the Kickstarter page. Like I said, there'll be a link to the page, so make sure that you go see it. I apologize, this is coming out right at the end of the Kickstarter, but I wanted to make sure this gets out and seen. And if it's beyond the Kickstarter date when you're first seeing this video, go to Printable Scenery's website. I mean, you're going to be blown away at what's offered up there. And if you just want to try a couple files out, they're as low as $4 for an STL. And the stuff is super affordable if you have to buy it one-off if you're a new customer later on. But for right now, the Kickstarter is running. It's about to hit that $100,000 mark. 22 stretch goals unlocked. And of course, I've had pictures popping up of the different stretch goals and stuff while I've been talking. So just wanted to thank Matt for sending me the files. Again, apologize, it's right at the last minute, but I got caught going out of town and it kind of messed my schedule up a little bit. But other than that, this is great terrain. I mean, it looks so good. The filament that's used right here, this is Army Green from Maker Geeks. The prints were printed on a TiVo Little Monster that I'm still working on dialing in for a review. So there's a few little wispies and stuff on the prints on there, but for the most part, the prints are really good. I've got my love-hate relationship with some Build-Tack on there, but I've just about got that straightened out on that printer. So I'm super happy with how these prints came off that printer. So if no supports on there, which I love being able to take a piece of terrain that's done off the printer and take it straight to the table. If you've seen some of my previous videos, like my last two videos on the Space Corridor system and OpenLock, this is the company that created OpenLock. So they've got magnetic clips now, so there's all kinds of previous campaigns have the OpenLock system on there. So if you're trying 2 and 2 together, OpenLock is Printable Scenery also. So, but this Kickstarter here has got some beautiful ships, beautiful buildings. I mean, I'm blown away at how good this stuff looks. So I appreciate you guys watching. It's actually going to be a quick video, I think, for once. I'm just going to run some random pictures at the end. You'll see some pictures of prints that are done, some that are in the process of printing. You'll see a lot of War Machine figures around them because back then I only played War Machine outside of RPG type stuff. And so just to give you a sense of scale, you'll see some of the pieces that I blew up when I got my first CR10 printer and things like that. So I appreciate you guys sticking around for the video and taking a look. And definitely go hit the Kickstarter link and go hit the Printable Scenery link and jump on board if you haven't been in there before. And like I said, he's about to hit 100,000, and subscriber count or backer count is at 983. So we almost have 1,000 backers too. So great stuff. Congratulations. I cannot wait to see what comes out after this later on. Have a good night, and I'll see you in the next video.